What if I told you that one of the most powerful forces in nature, a bolt of electricity hotter than the surface of the sun, could hit the exact car you are sitting in, and you might walk away completely fine, not because of luck, not because of magic, but because of science. Today we are going to find out exactly why a metal car might be the one thing standing between you and 5 billion volts of sky electricity, and why the thing most people think protects them, the tires, does absolutely nothing. Stay with me, this one is going to blow your mind.
Curious Kidcast, here we go. Ooh, yeah. Questions poppin', minds will blow. Big ideas, they're taking flight. Let's explore, feel the light.
Welcome to the Curious Kidcast, the show where we ask the big, weird, brilliant questions that most adults are too busy to think about. I am Charlie, and today we are talking about something that is genuinely terrifying, genuinely fascinating, and genuinely something that actually happened to one of our listeners on the way to school. Picture this. You are sitting in the back of a car. Rain is hammering the windows. The sky goes white. A crack of thunder shakes the whole vehicle. And you think, wait, what if lightning actually hits this car right now? What would happen? Well, a kid called River from Bellevue, Nebraska thought exactly that, and instead of just being scared, River turned it into a question. And River, that is exactly the kind of brain we love on this show. So today we are going to find out what actually happens when lightning strikes a car, whether you are safe, whether your tires do anything useful, and why science is occasionally the most surprising thing in the universe. Buckle up. Literally. Right, first things first. Lightning. What even is it? Lightning is basically the sky having a tantrum. When storm clouds build up, they create huge imbalances of electrical charge, positive charges at the top, negative charges at the bottom, and eventually the difference becomes so enormous that the electricity cannot hold itself in anymore, and it fires off a bolt to try to balance things out. That bolt can travel at speeds of up to 320 kilometers per hour, reach temperatures 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun, and release more energy in a split second than you could get from running a light bulb for about 3 months. So yes, lightning is kind of a big deal. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Most people assume that if lightning hits a car, the people inside are toast, completely done for, finished. You would think that a giant metal box sitting on a road in a storm would be the worst possible place to be. Metal conducts electricity, right, so surely you are just sitting in a giant conductor waiting to be zapped. But here is the twist, and it is a genuinely brilliant twist. The metal body of the car is actually what protects you. This is all down to something scientists call a Faraday cage. Named after a brilliant man called Michael Faraday who lived in the 1800s and who, as a child, was so poor he had almost no schooling at all, which makes his discoveries even more impressive. A Faraday cage is basically a shell made of conductive metal that distributes electrical charge around its outside surface. Because the electricity is moving around the outside, it does not go through the inside. So if you are sitting inside a proper enclosed metal car when lightning strikes, the current travels over the roof, down the sides and exits to the ground, mostly without passing through you at all. You are essentially sitting inside a metal bubble that quietly redirects one of the most powerful forces in nature around you. Which is honestly one of the coolest things physics has ever done for anybody. This is all down to something scientists call a Faraday cage. Named after a brilliant man called Michael Faraday who lived in the 1800s and who, as a child, was so poor he had almost no schooling at all, which makes his discoveries even more impressive. A Faraday cage is basically a shell made of conductive metal that distributes electrical charge around its outside surface. Because the electricity is moving around the outside, it does not go through the inside. There is also a very popular myth that needs sorting out right now. A lot of people think rubber tires are what protect you in a car during a storm. The idea being that rubber does not conduct electricity, so the lightning gets into the car and then just gets stuck there because the tires will not let it escape. This is completely wrong. Lightning carries so much energy that a thin layer of rubber is absolutely no obstacle. Lightning can jump through air, which is not even a conductor, across gaps of hundreds of meters. It is not going to be stopped by your Michelin tires. The tires do not protect you. The metal shell does. Next time someone tells you it is the rubber, you can very politely inform them that science disagrees. So what actually happens to the car itself when lightning hits? Well, this is where things get a bit dramatic. First, there's the flash and the bang. The shock wave from the expanding air around the bolt is what creates thunder, and up close, it's absolutely deafening. Imagine someone popping the world's biggest bubble wrap right next to your ear, except the bubble wrap's on fire and moving at the speed of light. There may be scorch marks on the roof, damage to the aerial, melted bits on the bodywork, and in some cases the windows can crack from the rapid pressure change. The electronics inside modern cars are particularly vulnerable. Your sat-nav, your sensors, your infotainment screen, the computers that control the engine, all of them are designed to handle normal electrical loads, not a sudden blast of energy from the sky. So, while the passengers may be fine, the car might need a very significant and very expensive trip to the garage afterwards. And here is something nobody really thinks about. The moment the lightning hits, if you are inside the car, you should avoid touching anything metal. That means the door handles, the gear stick, the steering wheel if you can help it, the charging cable if your phone is plugged in. During those few milliseconds when the current is traveling through the vehicle, any direct contact with metal inside the car increases the small chance that some of that current could pass through you. Normally, it is not a risk, but why add to it? Keep your hands in your lap, keep the windows closed, and wait for the storm to pass. That is the advice. Now here is something that might make you feel better about the whole thing. Humans inside proper enclosed cars being seriously injured by direct lightning strikes is actually quite rare. The Faraday cage effect is genuinely powerful. Cars are struck by lightning more often than you might think because they are large metal objects sitting out in open spaces during storms, and in the vast majority of cases the people inside are okay. The car takes the damage so the people do not have to, which is a very noble thing for a car to do and probably something manufacturers did not originally plan for, but science worked it out anyway. What should you do if a storm comes while you're in a car? If you're already inside a proper enclosed metal vehicle, staying there's actually a good option. Keep the windows closed, pull over safely if the rain's so heavy you can't see the road. Don't stop under a tree because trees are struck by lightning all the time and falling branches are a very real problem. Don't stand outside leaning against the car doing a dramatic pose. Don't try to shelter in a convertible and assume the roof fabric's protecting you because it isn't. Basically the rule is enclosed metal good, everything else think twice, and maybe also think once before that just to be safe. Now, before the quiz, here is the part of the show where we always say this. If you are enjoying the Curious Kidcast, please share it with a friend, a classmate, a cousin, a neighbor, or honestly anyone you think would like to know why lightning does not fry people in cars. And if you have a question you have always wanted answered, the kind of question that pops into your head on the way to school during a thunderstorm, then head over to CuriousKidcast.com and send it in. Every question is welcome. The weirder the better. We once spent 20 minutes discussing whether snails have feelings, and it was a completely reasonable use of everyone's time. Right. Quiz time. 3 questions. Let us see how much of a lightning expert you have become in the last few minutes. Question 1. What is the main reason people inside a metal car are protected from lightning? Is it A, the rubber tires stop the electricity, B, the metal body acts like a Faraday cage and directs the electricity around the outside, or C, the car radio confuses the lightning and it gives up? The answer is B. The metal body of the car acts like a Faraday cage, directing the electrical charge around the outside of the vehicle and away from the passengers inside. Rubber tires do not deserve the credit, and sadly neither does the car radio. Question 2. Which of these vehicles would give you the least protection during a lightning storm? Is it A, a hardtop metal family car, B, a large metal lorry, or C, a convertible with the roof down? The answer is C. A convertible with the roof down gives you almost no protection at all because there is no enclosed metal shell around you. The Faraday cage effect only works if the metal is actually surrounding you on all sides. Question 3. After a car is struck by lightning, what should you do? Is it A, immediately drive home as fast as possible to show everyone the scorch marks, B, get the car checked by a mechanic because hidden damage to electronics and safety systems is possible, or C, pat the car on the bonnet and thank it for its service? The answer is B, though honestly C is also a lovely gesture. Hidden damage to braking systems, airbags and electronics can happen even when passengers are fine, so always get the car looked at after a lightning strike. And that is it. That is what happens when lightning strikes a car. The sky explodes, the metal shell around you does something extraordinary, and science quietly saves the day in a way nobody really talks about enough. Thank you to River from Bellevue, Nebraska for the brilliant question. You were calm, curious, and brilliant in that storm, and that is exactly the kind of curious mind this show is made for. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss one, and share it with someone who loves big questions. If you want to send in your own question, visit CuriousKidcast.com. We read every single one. Stay curious, stay safe in storms, and remember, the universe is absolutely full of surprises, and the best way to find them is to keep asking why.